Hey there, happy holidays to you guys. It's almost New Year's Eve. So, as the year is coming to a close, of course, um, this is always a time for reflecting on what, you know, what did we learn this past year that we can bring forth with us into the new year from, what did we learn from our challenging experiences and from the opportunities that we had too. What do we want more of in our life? Like, this is a really good time to focus on those things, but also to clear out the things that are no longer needed. And so it's perfect timing for opportunities like they came up for me recently, where to do this very thing have been first of all, like just spending time, a lot of time in meditation and downtime, just being and getting creative in other ways that don't require a lot of physical activity, like driving or something. So making jewelry and stuff like that, painting rocks, reading and stuff. So, but creative writing also is a great way to express yourself in the world and to clear your mind too. But so is going for walks in parks. So here today I am in the park at this is Jervey Gant Park, beautiful park in Ocala, Florida. And okay, so anyway, sitting on a tree branch here, swinging. It's really awesome. But also, going for a jog in any park, it doesn't matter where, you go, as long as you're safe and you feel good there, and you're having fun. That's an important part of the process. So, but clear your mind of all the unwanted things that are in there first. And then the process of being able to clear out the other physical things from your life that you don't want will become much easier and faster. So when we put the needs of our soul first, the emotional part of us, and address that, then the needs of the human body can be met much, much faster. So that's why I do energy work on myself every single day. I put the needs of my soul first every day. The intentions of my soul too. And the values. The soul's values are different than the ego part of us. And so, we can have two different kinds of personalities, because the soul has its own unique personality to it that's different from the ego's personality. But the soul actually has chosen the personality that the ego has for a reason. So it's for its own growth and expansion and learning, for its expansion and experiencing something different, so from what it actually is itself. So when you're doing energy work and you're in that, when I do my energy work, it doesn't come from my ego, it comes from the soul level and above, from my soul and my higher self, from the one true God, from my I am presence. And that's the part of me that does the healing work I do. My ego steps aside and doesn't participate, because it has, unless you're somebody who has an ego that has completely aligned with your soul's intentions and purposes and its values and its ways of doing things in the world through non-judgment and stuff like that, then you have room for learning yourself as an ego and growing. and for healing. So the ego can just relax and receive while the soul does the healing. Or maybe the soul needs healing too. And, there may be a part of that maybe is too close to the situation to be able to see clearly how to do the healing properly. So maybe the soul steps aside or just sits and observes the session while the higher self does the work instead. But usually the soul is involved and taking care of things. Personally, I know this because I've done several healings, thousands of them now in this life. And so this is the one we're focused on and living, so that makes sense, right? And living as if this is the only life that we have. And so then you can really focus on living your best life and not without comparing to anything else. If you do have had memories of past lives, don't try to compare this one to other ones. It doesn't work like that. But we can receive insights into healing through past life regressions, and I've learned that through or into different, you can receive wisdom also from afterlives, in between lives. The part of you that's much wiser than you can share information from those in between lives from that time period. So, and that perspective to help you with problems that you have in your life today. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that, maybe, when I do my healing work, it comes from the soul level and above, and I do it every day. There's no day that has gone by in the past 20 plus years that I haven't done healing on myself. Or someone else hasn't done it for me if I hire someone else to do it for me instead. So, because sometimes I am too close to my own situation to be able to do it for myself. I have too many thoughts about it going on in my head to get myself out of the way and allow my well-being to flow from God. So, without judgment and, maybe fear getting in the way. So I said to myself, well, today I'm going to sit out in nature and commune with nature as a way to relax my mind about some things that happened earlier today and earlier, because it's been kind of a rough 2 nights. I've slept in a Love's truck stop. And I don't really like sleeping at truck stops too much. It's kind of busy all night, lots of traffic and lots of just not very much privacy. So I prefer to stay on a campground maybe, because I don't know, it's just different, nice. It's just nice to be surrounded by a lot of trees. Well, this particular Love's truck stop actually had some nice trees that lined up, my car backed up to, so it was pretty to look at and felt like I was in a campground a little bit. But anyway, so sometimes the campgrounds are too far away from where I left off with dashing to go, or maybe they're full, there's no room in them, so can't always get into the campgrounds that late at night either. And so sometimes you just miss the opportunity to go to one for one reason or another, and so that's okay. Then you just make the most of your situation and you find a spot like I did that feels like a campground, but it's not. I don't know if it feels like one or not, but it really definitely doesn't. But heard to say that Love's truck stop doesn't feel that much like one, but at least if it looks like one a little bit, that can help. So anyway, but I do my best to do that for my soul because it's so, when we put the needs of our soul first, going back to that, like, so important to address it at the end of the day too, and clear your mind of those emotions you might have picked up on from other people during the day that were upsetting, and you send them back to those people after you've had a chance to clean up your aura. You just send everybody's stuff back to them at the end of the day. And acknowledge the people you spent time with, and in a friendly way. So well, anyway, so if you're empathic, you might have a need to do that, or if you're clairsentient, you might also. But anyway, so just so you know, that's something, a practice and a habit that I have, that I've had for many years now, that has served me well, to do that for myself. And why? Because we have stress every day, and our energy systems can go out of balance, or they can get out of alignment, or our chakras can become muddied up with with negative emotions. So maybe we weren't able to express them during the day, but we can clear them through a tune-up. Energy tune-ups, I call them. It's like tuning up your car. Well, some people only need to tune up once a week. Some people once every 2 weeks. That's enough for them. Me, since the person I am, and the way I live my life and everything, and the vibration that I am, I need to do it twice a day. So I do one in the morning and one at night, and so it's very relaxing for me. It's a great way to fall asleep, but it's also a great way to wake up in the morning to really listen for my guidance for the day, and get clear about what my priorities are, where I'm needed the most, and who I am to serve that day on this planet. Maybe it's myself, but maybe it's others with me. Because self-care is a good thing. Sometimes it's just me. And I need downtime in meditation, or in silence, in solitude, for a day, or at least a half a day, to just go run and play by myself outside, to throw a frisbee, to take a walk, or go for a jog, or just be around playful, happy people. And those kinds of activities are so important to include in our day, every day, if we can. And when they're not possible, then something indoors, like making jewelry, is a good activity to do indoors on the days when we don't go out, and do something in nature. Nature can come indoors to us. So I know you guys know that. You're not, it's just a reminder, right? I'm not telling you something you don't already know, but maybe you have some gardening you could do. That's also a really soothing activity, but it depends on your blood type. And this is something else that I learned. So for my blood type, we love energy work. We could take it all day long, but we don't, because that's not healthy. You have to keep it balanced with your personal growth work, and exercise and diet. So you can't just focus only on one thing. And also, not every healing modality is what's required for every problem, or every thing that every stress that we have in life. Sometimes sorry, I'm trying to get the sun behind me. There we go. Block it with my head. Sometimes we have to just be able to journal about stuff. Sometimes we can do tapping, or we can go to therapy and talk about it at our counselor's office, or we could, especially for women really need that as a way to reduce their cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. We need to talk about our stress of the day. It's a female thing, and we don't need necessarily anybody to offer us a solution to anything. We just need to have a chance to hear ourselves talk about it out loud. And then we know the answer. We know the solution ourselves just from hearing ourselves talk about the problem, or it will come to mind later. But if it doesn't, we'll ask for help. So, when you're sharing with somebody about something, make sure you're sharing with someone who actually can hear what you're saying, first of all, and listen without trying to fix you or change you. And you can help that process by saying, well, today I just want you to listen, without saying anything in response. Or if you do say something, maybe you could just say something like, thank you, I understand, but without any expression or judgments, coming from that person. Like, whoever's listening, you would want them to listen with an open mind about what you're saying. So, and trust in you that you can solve it yourself. So, and if you need help, you'll ask. And maybe they could say at the end of whatever stuff you share with them, another good thing that they could say instead of thank you and I understand would be, is there more? Because sometimes we have more to share that we haven't come up with yet, or maybe we're afraid to say too much. So we might hold stuff back. Well, that's always a good indicator that the person really is there for you and is listening and they have time. So then they're ready to hear more, and then you feel safe sharing more. So these are things I learned in my relationship coach training that promote intimacy and harmony when sharing with each other from the heart, something that it's a clearing process, and then you can give the other person a chance to share when you're done. So that way it's mutually beneficial, and one person isn't doing all the talking. Sorry about the sunshine back there. But that's something that makes it really fun to share with your partner in life, whoever that is, and makes it easy because it's balanced, and that both people get a chance to clear their mind of or their heart of whatever's weighing on them. And you want to make it so that you share it with someone who feels safe to you to share with, who's emotionally intelligent and emotionally safe for you. So meaning that way after you speak about it, well, then they can, they're not going, you can trust them not to come back with you to you later with that information you shared and hurt you with it later. So that's something that is also important, part of sharing when you're getting stuff off your mind for the first time. Now, for me, as someone who also learned a long time ago, years ago, to clear my mind of upsets that I've had during the day, instead of going to a person to talk about it, because people have their own thoughts and opinions, judgments, and prejudices, and they have their own history with certain experiences in life and how they dealt with them. And so you want to make sure you are wise about who you're sharing it with, and is this person someone who's going to be trustworthy for you to share with? Maybe do they like to talk to a lot of other people? Well, maybe if this is something sensitive in nature, you don't want to talk with that person about it. Of course, I know you all are mature enough and adult enough to know that too, to make your own decisions about that. But, consider it before you just start sharing. That way, you're keeping your friend or your family member, whoever it is you're sharing with, safe while you're sharing something about them or your colleague at work. Use your judgment about that or discernment and do your best. But the other thing is, I learned not to share things at all that are upsetting with me, not to share them at all with people because people have their prejudices and their opinions and their judgments, and they make looks on their face or expressions that let you know, oh, they might roll their eyes, or they might make some kind of face that lets you know their attitude about it, or they might make a comment about that person that maybe scares your inner child even more, the part of you that's upset. So that part of you needs soothing. It doesn't need someone to add to what upset you already have. So the best solution for that is to go straight to your higher self and share with that part of you your upset. So that way you can get the best advice ever. You know that you are enough. So if the person isn't there for you to share with later on, you won't be freaking out because, oh my God, this person isn't in my life anymore. I don't have anyone to share with anymore. No, you do. You have yourself. Your higher self. Your higher self is your best friend, your best advocate, your best solution person to go to for solutions. It's the creative higher aspect of you, and it has all the answers to every problem you ever had. So I want to encourage you, instead of going to a friend today, to try this for your New Year's resolution, to make yourself your own best friend. And then others who are best friends for you, who are healthy for you, will start showing up in your life as a result. So thank you so much for listening to my video today. I hope you have a great day.